Hey there guys, we're going to be going back to Clash of Wills for another rank 1 on Helion. This time we're going to be doing an ice party. So we're going to be mixing it up and taking a bunch of new units this time. The only unit we're recycling is Melissa, because like I mentioned, Melissa is absolutely amazing for this Clash of Wills. But we're getting rid of Kaito, we're getting rid of all the rest of the units. We're going to be taking Veritas to be our leader. Ayaka for the Amplify and Field, Bulwark for the Fairy and Bird Killer, Melissa's our Dragon Killer, Snow is going to be our Ice Tank, and then, oh yeah, in the shift form he's not, I was about to say, why doesn't Snow have the leader skill, but he does in the base form, yeah. We're starting in the shift form for auto buffing. Anyway, and Aya Brea, because we need Mirage, and she's also going to be getting, Veritas' leader skill. Okay, and then for our focus units, it's going to be Aya Brea and Snow for our focus. So let's get in here and give it a go. So once again, we're going to be, for the most part, negating all the damage, but because we only have Melissa to imbue the boss, there are going to be a few turns that can deal some damage to us. So we're going to start Snow on the shift, then go to the base. We're going to use Veritas to do En Blizzaga, Glacial Snap, and Katana Flick to dispel the boss on turn 1. We're going to use Melissa to do Shared, Chronic, and Parasol. We're going to use Ayaka to do both her cooldowns, her field, and then just hit the boss with ice damage. Snow on turn 1 will do Heroic Guard and Physical Cover. Bulwark will do Moogly Mixtape, and we're going to do Jaunty Jubilee on Snow for the 85 single target mitigation. And Aya Brea will do, in this order, Barrier, Gene, and Haste. So, once again, there's a small, tiny amount of RNG on turn 1 and turn 2. If the boss uses single target damage that ignores cover twice on the same unit, we're going to be in trouble, but if he does it on one person, they'll guts it. It's not a big deal. 77,000 damage on Ayaka. As long as he doesn't double cast that on the same person, you're fine. Everyone on the party has guts. So Ayaka got hit. You know, it does a lot of damage. Because we're using Snow, who can't really do mitigation for the party, at least not at a reasonable level, anyone that actually gets hit on turns 1 or turn 2 will basically just take a billion damage. But they're going to all guts it, and we're fine. So now we're going to use Melissa to LB on Aya Brea. Ayaka will LB for the modifier buff. We'll use Snow to do cover and physical spirit. We'll use Bulwark to chirrup, Chocophony, and Cactuar Cantuar for a single stack Mirage. We'll use Veritas to field, and then just bolting and absolute. And Aya Brea will just do 3 heals on the party for the morale gain. So here's the second turn where the boss has a little bit of RNG. If the boss does those single target attacks on Ayaka again, she's going to die. If someone else, they'll just guts it. As long as the boss doesn't double up on the single target cover ignoring attack, you're fine. Oh, we did it on the Ayaka this time, but actually this time we had mitigation from Snow and all, so it was a lot less damage. So, yeah. Oh, we also had Melissa's LB, which is 70 or 80% general mitigation. So, yeah, we had mitigation that turn. So, Ayaka got hit again, and she was fine. I guess it's just that first turn where we have, like, no mitigation. We got to have a little bit of RNG. But anyway, we're good. So, En Blizzaga on Veritas, Bursting, Breakdown, and then just a Bolting Strike hit. Snow on this turn can just ATB charge to get his LB filled for later. Ayaka can just do the field and hit the boss a few times. So field and triple Carol of Snow. We're not worried about damage. This is just to push that Mania mode. So we're going to shift Bulwark. We're going to do Chirrup, Bird Killer, and Avian and Bird Killer. So, or Pomelos and Moops. That's the one we want. Aya can do on this turn. Because of the LB from Melissa, we can now do Gene and Barrier again, then just a regular heal. We're not going to do Haste, though. It's on cooldown anyway. And as the last action, Melissa will now imbue the boss with darkness for this turn. So uncontrollable darkness. Then we'll do minutes and shared. And that's going to push the boss into mania mode. As you see with this party, we are well beyond mania mode. So we're at like 170. I guess we're not that far ahead. We're at 179 out of 175. So not a huge amount. But we're there, and that's all that matters. So this turn, the boss is imbued with darkness. We're absorbing darkness, so the damage is irrelevant. It's going to be that big gravity turn. It turns out the gravity turn is every third turn, so turns 3, 6, and 9. But, you know, we're not going to actually see turn 9. But, yeah, we're going to have the boss imbued on turn 3 and turn 6 because it's really hard to survive that on your tank after the boss puts you to, like, 5,000 health. But we're fine, as you see. So, right here, this is very important for the actions we're going to be doing. First action is going to be Veritas. He is going to Katana Flick to dispel the boss. Then Ice Shorn and Field. We're going to have Snow and Ayabrea Focused Energy to start getting that energy going. We're going to have Bulwark, Mixtape, Chirrup. So Chirrup, Mixtape, and Shadow Serenade. The reason for this is we need to put a Dark Imbue on the boss. We're going to get rid of that Dark Imbue on the party later. Ayaka can do her SLB this turn. And Melissa will do All-Consuming Darkness to imbue the party for 3 turns to Darkness. Protectica, we're going to need that on the 4th turn. And then Dragon Killer on Ayaka. Okay. So for the next 3 turns, we're going to be absorbing darkness damage. Now this turn, because we didn't actually burst earlier, it's a relatively low damage turn this round anyway, but the reason we're doing it this way, you're going to see we kind of need to for the turn 7 setup, and I'll explain that more when we get there. But for now, just some attacks, no big deal. We're absorbing everything. Oh yeah, and this turn the boss does the cover ignoring attack as well. Forgot about that. Okay. But we don't care because obviously we absorbed it. Okay, so for this turn, we're going to use as the first action the SLB on Melissa. And we're going to target Snow to reduce the cooldown of the focus ability. Wait for the auto casting to finish. Alright, so Melissa is going to SLB on Snow. We can't do it yet, but we can do it later. So Ayabrea can Focused Instinct for the modifier buff. Snow is going to Brave Shift here. Now, it doesn't matter that his shift form is not geared for tanking because we're currently absorbing, so the damage is irrelevant. But in the shift form, he's using Irene's Ring and the Ice Rod to quad cast Blizzara to match up with our Ayaka, who's going to quad cast Snow. We're going to do a little bit of damage this turn. It's honestly not going to be that much because we're currently imbued with darkness. So we're going to triple with the bird, and we're going to Moogly Mixtape, Chirrup, and we're going to do Frozen Fantasia for the long-term Ice Imbue. And Veritas of the Frost can just triple bolting here. Now we're going to do a little bit of damage, but very honestly speaking, this is not going to be a good damage turn at all, but every little bit helps. It'll do like 5% at best. Yeah, the big damage is going to be coming a little bit later. 5% exactly. That's fine. So, Snow is shifted, but we're currently absorbing, so we don't really care that we're going to be taking 1 billion damage per hit. Totally okay. Yeah, I've kind of said before, Melissa extremely trivializes this, and for anyone that says, what if I don't have Melissa? I've kind of been recommending that you use your Replica Lapis unit of choices and get her, because she's a big deal. For lots of like, she's been a big deal since she came out almost every Clash of Wills. You really want to have Melissa. Anyway, so now we're this is going to be the last turn of our Dark Imbue, but at the current time we are still Dark Imbued. So we're going to go back to the base form with Snow after all this auto casting finishes. Back to the base form with Snow, where we're going to double cast, which is all we have. He's kind of a shitty tank. So we're going to cover, and nope, not double cast cover. We're going to cover, and we're going to Heroic Guard, because next turn we're not going to have Imbue. Bulwark can triple. We're going to use his Magnus ability, and then we're going to Bird Killer and Fairy Killer. So Pomelo and Moops. Veritas is going to Glacial Snap the boss. We're going to Solitary Sword Dance. Don't dispel the boss. And we're going to field. Let's see here. Melissa will do triple. Now, she's going to triple bar Darkja because we need to get her LB filled again for next turn. Very important, but with the gear we're using on her, it's going to be fine. Aya Brea on this turn can just shift and just do Awakened, or you can hit the boss if you want to. But the important thing is just do Awakened Mitochondria. And we'll hit twice because why not? Just don't use Necrosis. And Ayaka is going to Ramping Amplify. We're going to Presence for Everyone, both her cooldowns, and we'll just refresh the field as well. Okay. So this is the last turn of Dark Imbue, so damage is not going to be important. I think the boss does a gravity damage this turn as well. So yeah, this would kill our tank if we weren't absorbing, but we are. So many autocasts from the boss. Very irritating. Come on, boss. Let's go. Yeah, as you say, big damage, but we're absorbing it, so who cares? And there's the gravity. Here's the follow-up attacks. That would mega kill our tank if the boss wasn't imbued. But he is. Okay. So, once again, we are a tiny amount short on the focus bar. So, once Melissa finishes autocasting, we're going to normal LB Snow, which currently has 1 turn remaining on his focused ability. Now it has no turns remaining, so we can Focused Energy, and if you notice at the top, that will fill the last gem. Now, after you fill that gem, I saw a few comments, people doing things in the wrong order. After you fill that last gem, now we're going to use Vertex Shield on Bulwark to activate Chance Mode. Ayaka will SLB. We're going to be killing. We're not going to be killing. We're going to be doing our damage next turn. This is not an 8-turn clear, because this team is weak. Now, before we use Aya, we're going to use Veritas of the Frost to Arcane Supplementation, 150 Amplify, and Katana Flick. The Katana Flick is important to get rid of the boss's mitigation this turn. Okay, after that is all done, because Arcane Supplementation is a 3-stack Mirage, so we want Aya to now, after that, do her base form. With her base form, we're going to do Barrier, Gene Heal, and Haste, and that'll give us a 5-stack Mirage. It'll also cure our Imperils, etc., because we are not absorbing this turn. Keep that in mind. This is going to be a damage turn, but we've got SLB mitigation from Melissa, we've got Protectica, we've got all kind of mitigations, we've got the Imperils cured, so we're going to be fine. Very, very low damage turn. This is not the, okay, 6,000 on Aya. Hurt a little bit, but we're fine. We're fine. Okay, so now we're going to do our bursting. So before we do anything, though, we are going to, we're not going to kill this turn. I guess if your party is really strong, you might kill, but ours is not going to. But we're going to do a lot of damage. So Melissa is going to triple here. We're going to do Dragon Killer on Veritas of the Frost, because he's the only one with the big Amplify. Protectica and Shared Immunity. Notice we are not using Seconds of Support because we want to save that for later. So Snow can just guard here to make sure he survives. Ayaka is going to quad her... Nope, she's going to do her Magnus. Veritas will do his SLB. Aya will do the LB to match Veritas. And now we're going to use Bulwark to triple Chocophony for Bolting Strike. Now, Ayaka is quad bolting. Bulwark is only triple. So what we're going to do, we're going to send the back row first. We're going to wait just a moment. Then we're going to send the front row to overlap that last cast of Aya's, or Ayaka's. Yeah, Ayaka. So we're going to send them. We're going to wait. Then we're going to send the front row. And that should properly cap Ayaka. Okay, 18%. As you can see, we did not do a ton of damage, but we did 11.4. All that matters. So there's the threshold. On the threshold, the boss doesn't actually attack you. He just puts up buffs again. So because he put up those buffs, we have to use Veritas of the Frost to... Before we do Veritas, though, we're going to do Melissa. So Melissa is going to triple here. We're going to Dragon Killer on Aya. We're going to Seconds of Support on Aya. And we're going to, I guess, Minutes of Might. It doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so now Veritas is going to dispel the boss. We're going to end Blizzaga. We're going to Icy Grasp and Katana Flick. The Katana Flick will get rid of the boss's mitigation. So now we're going to shift Snow, and he's going to use an Extreme Nova Materia to chain with Aya Brea. So Extreme Nova. Aya Brea will shift the LB. Ayaka will quad bolting. And we'll triple bolting with our... Nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to triple with Bulwark. He's got to do the killer. The killers are gone at this point. So we're going to Avian Killer, Fairy Killer, and we'll do his Magnus to top the party off, just in case we don't kill the boss, but we're probably going to. And if we don't, it's okay. So here we go. Yeah, once Aya Brea's last hit comes in, we should be very much killed. Now, we didn't properly chain Ayaka that turn, but it didn't matter. Anyway, yeah, 4.5, so we did 33%. The boss has 15 billions. That's like actually more like 31%. But yeah, we were at 18, we did 31 with just Aya Brea, basically, so we're good. And there's your rank 1 clear with an Ice Party. Perfect score. We have 3 turns to kill during chance mode, so even if we didn't kill on turn 9, we could have killed on turn 10 instead. And there's the damage breakdown. So, like I said, relatively simple boss. Veritas of the Frost did 5 billion. He only got 1 burst turn the whole fight. Keep that in mind. He only bursted on turn 8. On turn 9, he was forced to do debuff duty. Aya Brea got 1.5 bursts. She did her big burst on turn 8, and then her small burst on turn 9. She only had like a 35 amplifier or something. No, she actually had 100 plus 25 from the field, so 125. I guess still, yeah, pretty good. And then Ayaka had actually 3 turns of damage. She got to do damage on turn 5, the big one on turn 8, and then more damage on turn 9. But yeah, perfect score. So look at those tickets. Always tickets. I love to see it. Anyway, there's the ice clear. Let me turn on the modifier so I can show you the gear. Okay, now for those of you that are asking, what if I don't have Melissa? You know, you ignored all the advice to choose her from the unit of choice. You didn't get her fragments from all the fragment choices. Like I've been saying to pick her for 9 months. If you still don't have her, I guess maybe later I'll see about doing a no Melissa clear. But I'm kind of assuming that just about everyone should have Melissa, because I've been telling you to pick her with every single free pick for months and months and months. Anyway, let's look at the gear. So Melissa is using just some LB fill, so we can get her LB again on turn 7. Other than that, bulk, whatever, who cares. Her own card, and then Peppermint Rod. I guess you could give Peppermint Rod to Ayaka instead, but we gave it to her. Veritas of the Frost is Katana build, because we don't have Hayo on the party. You know, it's better with Fist when Hayo's around. When Hayo's not around, go Katanas. Maxed Killer on everything. He gears for it pretty easy because he's a premium. And he's on Odin for the Dragon Overkiller. I don't have the Overkiller for Carbuncle. I could buy it, but I don't need it. Aya Brea in the base form. Celestite Rod, some resistances, some bulk, etc. Shift form is damage. Now, she gears for this a little bit trickier. Doesn't quite gear for it as easily as some units, but there it is. But she geared for it, though. She's maxed on everything. Maxed LB, maxed Bird, maxed Dragon, maxed Fairy. So yeah, you know, she's maxed out. It's just that she can't fit Clash gear, so it does hurt her damage a little bit. Ayaka, using the Dark Visions Rod. If you don't have that, use her own rod, it's fine. But there we go. There's the setup. She's also capped on all the killers. I'm pretty sure she might not be. I don't know. Let's find out. Bird is capped. Dragon is... Oh my god, Dragon is very low. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. I couldn't quite fit it. Then Fairy... Yeah. Ayaka gears for killers real bad here. Like, real bad here. Yeah, she's got, like, all the slots with killers just about. I guess I could have used a killer card. Maybe that would have been better. I don't know. And I'm trying to not use what's her name? What's her name? The new guy. Aang. I'm trying to not use Aang's gear on a party that doesn't have Aang. Like obviously Aang's TMR is amazing. His vision card is great. Lots of killers for this boss. But if it's a no Aang clear, I'm kind of trying to not use Aang's gear on that clear. That'd be kind of cheating. You know what I mean? So Snow in the base form is a little bit of resistances. Honestly, not much for the most part. He's got 85 mitigation on turns 1 and turn 2. We absorb turns 3, 4, 5, and 6. The only turn he actually takes any damage is turn 7, and he's Guardian that turn, I think. Or maybe he's not. In any case, he tanks it fine. He tanks it fine. And there it is. In shift form, we are starting in the shift form for the Treasured Ring and the auto buffing with the mitigations. We gave him Extreme Nova Materia and Ice Rod because this gives Blizzara to let you... and Irony's Ring to chain with Ayaka on that one turn. And then the double tank card. And then Bulwark. Bet you never thought you'd see them again. So dual wielding a morale card. Other than that, we gave her Poppy's Paintbrush. Turns out using the wrong element is not penalized. So Poppy's Paintbrush allows us to seal both light and ice and wind and all that at the same time. So there we go. Other than that, Bulk. And the reason I gave him the Magistite or the Magister's ring is because everyone else couldn't fit it. Like Ayaka couldn't fit it; she needed killers. Ayabrea couldn't fit it; she needed killers. And Veritas of the Frost couldn't fit it; he needed killers. Well, he needed the LB damage. So yeah, we just gave the Celestite ring to Bulwark just for the morale autocast. Yeah. Other than that, whatever. You know, whatever. Okay. Turn chart will be in the comments. As far as the wind party goes, I'm not sure how viable a pure wind party would be. I could try it, but I'm starting to feel like a wind party would really be like Malphasy plus units like, you know, Ayabrea, Hayo, you know, hard hitters that aren't really wind units. That's what I'm thinking that a wind party is going to look like, because we don't really have actual wind damage dealers that matter. But maybe. I haven't really tried it for real, so maybe I'll play with it. Anyway, see you next time.